money and time. These two things are where the most attention is directed to in today's day and age. We either spend money to get time or time to get money. But even with this obsession, we still waste our time on social media, video games, partying. It is the most scarce resource in your life, and that's why I want to give it back to you. The last few months, I again realized how valuable my time is. School, YouTube, self-improvement, these things need a lot of time and effort, but with them covered, I didn't have much left. But because I wanted to go after some of my hobbies like playing the guitar, playing tennis, or in general that I wanted to spend more time on self-improvement and on this YouTube channel, because of this I looked back into my time management and realized one bad habit that snuck back into my routine. The bad habit was social media. Over the last 3 months, every day I spent at least 1 hour per day on social media. And guess what? I wasn't always just watching self-improvement stuff. I wasn't always just furthering my knowledge. I was also watching some entertainment stuff. I was also watching some shorts. And in general, I was also wasting time. But as you know yourself, time for every human being is the most valuable resource that you have. Health is also important, but you can always better it. And for that, you need time. Money is also very important, but to get money, you also need to spend time. The only thing that you can't get back is this resource of time. And if you're wasting it on social media, on video games, then you know yourself that this time wasn't worth spent and that you could have done something else. Because for me, this was the same case. As soon as I started the habit of going back onto social media and wasting so much time on it, my mental health decreased. I didn't have a good sleeping routine anymore. And in general, everything fell together. My whole routine was just at the ground. Even when I worked on the YouTube channel, even when I edited some of the videos, I wasn't able to focus as much anymore and therefore needed to spend more time to get the same work output. And in most of the cases, this work output that I needed more time for was worse than the other work that I put out when I was really focused. And to get back this focus, to increase my mental health again, to get back on my sleeping routine, I looked into why that was the case, onto why I got back onto this bad habit of social media consumption. And the one thing that I realized? I've gotten back into the bad habit of social media 3 months ago. You know what I also stopped 3 months ago? Meditating. I didn't do it anymore. I thought that these 30 minutes of meditating that I spent every day were useless and that I could just put them into my work and therefore get more out of it. But as I realized afterwards, especially right now, is that meditating was essential for me to not get into these bad habits, for me to have a very good mental health, for me to be able to really focus on my work. Because when I stopped, all of these things deteriorated. They've gotten worse. I literally fell off them. So the one step that I really want you to do, that I really want you to start, is to start meditating. I know it sounds boring. I know it's not that fun. I know it's even a bit hard to focus on one thing while you meditate. But it is necessary to improve your whole life. I can now say, now that I've stopped for 3 months and see what has happened to me, to my work, to my whole life, that not meditating has worsened it by so much that I don't want to go back to that state. You know, most of the people say, oh, meditating has changed my life while they are still on this habit. And you could say that it is a placebo effect. But I can actually now say that having gotten off meditating actually has bad benefits, and that in general, meditating and the good benefits that all of the people say meditating has are actually true. So what I want you to do right after this video is to get onto meditating. A quick step-by-step guide. Sit or lay down. Close your eyes, then control your breathing, and while you're doing that, focus on one thing. If you really focus on the breathing part, if you focus on what you see in front of your eyes, which is probably a black void, if you just focus on one thing and do that every day for around 10 minutes, then your life will improve by so much. But to really give you an idea, what is really important in the process of meditating is realizing that your mind is wandering off and thinking about things that have happened in the past or about what you're going to do after. The thing is, in our everyday world, we think about everything except the present moment. Even when you're watching this video, you're not thinking about how you look, how you sit there, what faces you're making, how you look. You maybe are thinking about what you're going to do after, but in general, you're pretty immersed in this video right now. But what meditating is causing is that it is giving you a consciousness that you're realizing, okay, I'm actually sitting here, my hands are laying this way, I have a pretty normal face gesture, and I'm kind of spending time watching this video and getting the knowledge in. The number one thing of meditating is realizing that you're spending time in the present moment. What meditating is doing is that you're going through this process of, okay, I'm going to focus on my breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. But once you get into one thought about what you're going to do after, maybe you're going to go to the dance class or something, and you're thinking about that, when you realize that you're thinking about something else than the present moment and then come back to the present moment, then it's like doing one rep for your brain. What this is doing is making you more conscious, and you will also see that in your everyday life. When you go out, I will definitely tell you that you will appreciate your life, especially nature, more. What has happened for me was that I've gone out and then suddenly realized how beautiful nature itself was. Of course, does it sound kinky, of course does it even sound a bit cringe, but it was actually what happened. And what also happened, what is the main part of why I'm suggesting that you should get back into meditating, is that I've gotten rid of the bad habit of social media. Because what happened was that every time when I got onto social media after I've meditated, I realized that I was wasting time every second. You have to imagine, I grabbed my phone, opened YouTube and then got onto watching shorts. But every second that I was watching shorts, I wasn't indulging in the content, I wasn't immersed in it. I was realizing that I was laying in that bed, that I had my phone around me, that in the background I could see my whole room, and that I'm wasting every second that I'm watching these shorts. I constantly had a bad feeling in my head because my head didn't want to go into the content and then make 5 minutes out of 5 hours. It didn't want to do that anymore. What my brain instead did was constantly reminding of, hey, you are wasting time, you little shit. Get off this and get back onto your self-improvement habits. Get back to work. And every second, this feeling got worse and worse, so that every day I was able to waste less than 10 minutes on social media per day. That was it. And I don't even need to speak of video games, because I completely stopped playing them. So social media was really the one thing wasting my time, getting rid of my energy, and therefore making me worse. But with meditating, with being more conscious, with getting a better mental health, which is also a big part of meditating, the bad habit of social media, indulging in it, just gone away. And all of my problems were literally solved. And when you will start to meditate, you will realize that the first time it's actually pretty f***ing hard. You know, back in the day, when I started off with meditating, 5 minutes of meditation were so f***ing hard to do, because constantly my mind was going to some thoughts that I had. And for you, this will be the same case. When you have indulged in social media for a long time, when you've just wasted your time on these useless activities, then your mind won't be able to focus anymore, because with video games, especially with social media, you're getting a dopamine hit every single second. You're getting a new thought there, you're getting a new animation there. It's just ruining the process of your brain of really focusing on one thing, because afterwards you can't do it anymore. Shorts are just 10 seconds long but have so much information, so much stuff in them that your brain has to adjust to this new pace. And once it has done that, you can't focus on anything anymore. You can't do anything for more than 3 minutes. That at least was the case for me. It was horrible. But after I've meditated, and you will see the same benefits as well, this bad habit just faded away. And once you've done that, once you're at the point where you meditate for at least 10 minutes every day, you will see that you've got so much time that you can use on your work, that you can use on bettering your mental health, that you can just use to relax, to go out, to take a walk in a park, and to generally just appreciate life. Because it is far better than wasting your time on social media where your mental health is actually deteriorating. So what I want you to do is that you close your computer, lay back your phone, that you sit or lay down somewhere comfortable, and then meditate for 5 minutes straight. It will be hard, but it will genuinely change your life.